We're now recording and let's go. Good morning, everybody. Once again, my name is Richard Duffy. I am the Acumatica Vice President for Product Partner Strategy and Enablement. I'm also the Acumatica Product Evangelist, and I'm really excited to be hosting you for today's session, which is our very first lecture as part of a new offering that I talked about when I first joined Acumatica. And wanted to talk about what we were doing from a partner enablement perspective and all of those kinds of things. We talked about this idea of really putting together a way of getting together on a regular basis and sharing best practices around the sales and pre-sales topic with you, our partners. And not only that, but giving you also the opportunity for you to practice your skills. Now, we're going to get into a lot of those different practice sessions, but one of the things that I wanted to do is I really wanted to kick off this first lecture by telling you a little bit about what we're going to be focusing on as we go forwards and what the purpose of the Demo University is. So with that in mind, let me talk to you a little bit about the agenda for today's lecture. So I am going to be your host for most of these sessions. We will have guest speakers, we will have guest lecturers who will come in and they will cover different topics as we go through each of the different lectures. We'll also give you the opportunity to come in and present. So if you would like to practice one of your demonstrations, if you would like to share and get a critique on your demonstration process, you will also have the ability to do that. But we will also give you the opportunity to learn some demo best practices from people such as myself, from people like Doug Johnson. Everybody knows we now are calling him Desert Doug Johnson because his sense of humor is so dry. And those of you who joined us at his session at the spring training will remember that was the joke of the day, so yep, you'll get to hear from Doug Johnson as well as a range of other people across the entire Acumatica ecosystem who will share their knowledge and their skills with you. So the university will happen every week, every Friday at this time. Every session will be approximately an hour, maybe a little bit longer. If you cannot attend any one of the sessions, don't worry, because every session will be recorded and every session will also be posted on YouTube for you, so you can come back and you can watch any of these sessions as many times as you want. We'll also utilize the Demonstration University to share with you all the kinds of things we're doing from a sales, pre-sales, and product demo perspective. So you should be aware of that as well. And once we really get going, I will also be setting up a dedicated area on the Channel Partner portal for the Demonstration University where we'll be able to share other materials. Every week, if we use a PowerPoint deck or we make a reference to specific materials, all of those will be shared as well. So the whole concept behind this is really about giving you access to the information that you want, covering the topics that you have told us that you want to learn about, and sharing that knowledge. So on that topic of covering things that you have asked for, again, I would encourage you to reach out to me or to your channel manager if you have a specific topic that you would like me to cover, that you would like us to arrange a guest lecturer to come in and talk about. I'd be more than happy to do that. So that's the focus. That's what we're going to be doing. And with that, I would like to just outline a couple of other things for you as well with the university. Now, you will see that in the Go-To webinar control panel, there is the option for you to ask questions. There is the option for you to answer polls and so on. So for the next couple of weeks, we will be using the Go-To webinar platform. You can ask questions at any point in time. Just go into the question and answer pod and ask your question there. You can also chat with other participants in the university at the same time. If you want to share some information, chat amongst yourselves. Just remember, when you are doing that, if you do want to chat directly with somebody, make sure in the chat pod that you do select the person that you wish to chat with, all right, rather than chatting with the entire audience. Now, just for today's session, I do have that disabled, all right, so you can't chat with each other in today's session, but going forward you will be able to. Now, in a couple of weeks, we will change the platform. We will move from using GoToWebinar to using GoToTraining. So that is part of the Citrix GoTo family of products, but instead of being designed specifically for webinars, it's designed specifically for training. So it will give me the ability to share videos with you, for me to share testing questions with you, and do a whole range of specific things that are more related to the training topic. Now, one other point that I would say to you, one of the requirements that we have for you as an Acumatica partner is that in order to receive your Sales Engineers badge, you have to do a mock demo. Now, if you volunteer to do a demonstration as part of the Acumatica University and have the opportunity to have your classmates critique in a positive way your demonstration capabilities, your demonstration process, then that will count as your mock demo in terms of achieving your Sales Engineer badge. So do remember that as well. In the next newsletter, we'll be covering that also. So you'll know, again, we will we will communicate that out, and then you'll be able to get that credit for doing your demonstration in the university. So with that, I'm just going to have a quick look again and see if there are any questions right now before I get going. And no questions so far, I think. All right, good. Okay, so I will pause every once in a while to check for questions, but again, right now, let's rock and roll away into our session. So the second topic on our agenda is going to be talking about the importance of consistency in messaging and positioning. Then I'm also going to, off the back end of that, introduce the new Acumatica Positioning and Messaging and Framework. And I'm also taking this opportunity to launch for you a brand new Acumatica PowerPoint deck, which you can use when presenting Acumatica to your customers. Now, this is something that we've heard from many people that they wanted to have access to. So we do like to we do like to pride ourselves on listening to our partners and giving you what you want. So that's going to be the focus of this week's session. We're going to talk about messaging and positioning. I'm going to take you through the positioning and messaging framework. I'm going to take you through that PowerPoint deck, explain to you how we use it, and then I'm going to give you a preview of what we're going to cover in next week's session as well. So with that, let's actually talk about the importance of consistency. I think it's clear to say that when you are presenting to customers, presenting to prospective customers, the one thing that you are trying to do, whether you're a salesperson or you're a pre-sales person, is you are trying to encourage them to change. And you are trying to encourage them to change from a system that they're using today, even if they hate their current system. The idea of changing has some fear attached to it. So, you know, as a professional pre-sales person, as a professional salesperson, your job is to help them overcome that fear and lead them across a bridge from where they are today, which is their current system, to where they will be in the future. So there is a couple of things. You need to make sure that you keep them focused on the end goal. And any time you come in and change your message, anytime somebody from your organization comes in and says something different to what you have already said, it makes it more difficult for you to lead them across that bridge to your new solution. It makes them want to turn around and go back the other way to where they were. Okay, again, why? Because it's that fear of change. So having a consistent way of explaining what you do as a partner, what we do with Acumatica as a product, explaining how you do what you do. All of those things help you to lead your customer through that process of change. So having a consistent way of explaining makes it, first of all, easy to understand. It can help remove doubts in the mind of your prospective customer. Maybe they doubt that you know what you're talking about. They doubt that you're the right organization to implement the solution for them. Okay? By having a consistent way that you explain things, it makes you look professional. So again, when you look professional, it helps you minimize risk in the mind of your prospect. If you look like you've done this before, if you look like you've done it more than once, consistency helps you get that position, get that message, get that picture across. So consistency of message also helps to deliver clarity of vision, and it helps build trust. Okay? When everyone in your organization is saying the same thing, it automatically makes people trust you and puts them at ease. Now, one of the things you're going to hear me talk about a lot as we go through our enablement sessions, and I hope many of you have already booked and are planning to join us at the Acumatica Partners Summit in August in Denver, but at the sales and pre-sales training that's happening after the summit, which I'll be leading. You're going to hear me talk a lot more about this, and any of you who join me for any marketing training will hear me talk about this as well. If you think about it, marketing is getting people with a need for your product to know, like, and trust you so that they will try what you have to offer, buy from you, repeat buy from you, and then refer others to you. So consistency helps you to build that level of trust because they might know your company, they might like what it is that you're talking about, but as you know, they will not purchase from you unless they trust you. And consistency of messaging is all about trust. Hopefully that's clear. So then, what I like to do right now is introduce you to the Acumatica Messaging and Positioning Framework. Now, this is something, if you've ever worked in any kind of corporate environment, a large company environment, this is one of these documents which pretty much everybody has. And you can build messaging and positioning frameworks about everything, about your company, about a product, about a service that you have, pretty much anything that you need to be able to explain to an audience. And the purpose of the positioning and messaging framework is it gives you a number of different ways of explaining what it is that you do. Well, actually, when I say a number of different ways, the only thing that's different is the length of the wording that is available. So you'll see with Acumatica, we have our tagline. And when you think about Acumatica going forwards, the message that you want to leave with your customers is that what Acumatica helps them do is it helps them unlock their business potential. So our tagline is unlock your business potential with Acumatica. And you're going to see this more and more. In the next week or two, I'm releasing 4 new marketing campaigns for you that you will be able to take. We will modify for you where required, or you can just take them and run them. But you will see that theme now coming through in everything we do around the positioning of Acumatica as a company and as a product. So then you take that to the next step. So obviously, you know, if you just want a quick tagline, you need one like that, and that's what this is. Then you can go to the next stage and you can have a 25-word positioning. And our 25-word position, as you can see here, is Acumatica is a leading provider of cloud business management software that empowers small and mid-sized businesses to unlock their potential and drive growth. So again, we add a little bit more information in the 25-word positioning. What have we added? What do? We provide cloud business management software. What does it do? It empowers our customers to unlock their potential and drive growth. But who are our customers? Well, small and mid-sized businesses. So again, we've provided some more information there. You then move to the 50-word positioning, and again we provide more information, which is really drilling down into specific areas. So then we add to that, we then say Acumatica is a leading provider of cloud business management software that empowers small and mid-sized businesses to unlock their potential and drive growth. Using the world's best cloud technology, Acumatica enables customers to take full control of their business, play to their strengths, and empower the people who impact their business most. So again, we're expanding out the subject, we're expanding out the topic, and we're introducing these 3 key values of the Acumatica solution. And you can see the 3 key values are taking control of the business, playing to your strengths, and empowering your people. So then let's get to the 100-word positioning, and I'm not going to repeat what I've already done with the 50-word positioning, but then I'm going to explain to you how we change it somewhat. So again, it's a little bit different to the 50-word positioning. So we say Acumatica is a leading provider of cloud business management software that empowers small and mid-sized businesses to unlock their potential and drive growth. Built on the world's best cloud and mobile technology and a unique customer-centric licensing model, Acumatica delivers a suite of fully integrated business management applications such as financials, distribution, CRM, and project accounting, powered by a robust and flexible platform. In an interconnected world, Acumatica enables customers to take full control of their business, to play to their strengths, since every business is unique, and to empower their people by going wherever their people go on any device. So basically, those 3 different positionings all kind of have the same theme. Again, consistency. But you won't always have time to be able to use the 100-word positioning. You might be creating a marketing document where you can only use the 25-word positioning. You might be giving a presentation where all you can utilize is the 50-word positioning. You don't have to follow this word for word, although it's always ideal if you do, again because of consistency. But there are the key points that you want to make sure you do get across. That we're cloud business management software, that we're focused on small and mid-sized businesses, and we help them unlock their potential and drive growth, because nobody gets up in the morning and says, today I want to buy ERP software. They get up in the morning and they say, today I have a problem that I need to address. So that's really what this is about. So when you think about these key areas, the key things you want to think about is, again, the fact that we're cloud business management software, that we empower small and mid-sized businesses. So this is what we provide, this is who we provide it for, and this is the benefit they're going to get. They're going to unlock their potential and drive growth. Now, it gets better, because under these 3 key values, people are going to say, well, okay, how do you help me take control of my business? How do you help me play to my strengths, and how do you help me empower my people? But more importantly, before that, why do I want to have control of my business? Why do I want to play to my strengths? Why do I want to empower my people? So again, we've provided you some of these summary statements which help you explain the concept behind that. And you want to have control of your business. The great thing about the messaging framework is you all have your own way of doing things. You all have your own way of explaining things. You all have your own way of presenting things. So what you can do is you can then use this and weave these messages into your presentations. All right? So I'm just going to do a quick check to see if I've got any questions. Okay, sorry. One quick question. Somebody asked, what if you already have a sales engineer badge? Then, of course, you've already got the sales engineer badge. You might still want to do your demo in the Demo University, but you won't get any additional credit for it. The value for you of doing your demo and sharing your demo skills with everybody else in the Demo University is an opportunity to get feedback and to practice. Okay? All right. Let's dive back there then. I'll put that back across there. Great. Okay, so think about it. Take control of your business. Successful companies know the value of having visibility and control over their business. Acumatica enables you to drive growth, manage costs, and be productive. So that's the summary statement which explains what taking control of your business helps them to do, right? Playing to their strengths. If you think about it, play to your strengths is all about what you as an individual or as a company can do. So this is where we then say every business is unique, and playing to your strengths is all about doing what works best for your company. And Acumatica enables you to tailor your business management software to fit your exact needs, no matter how specific your requirements. So again, these are the high-level messages that you need to remember. We provide these as areas that you can refer to if you can't think of your own words to use, but they're basically a starting point. And if wherever you can, you should try and stick to these messages, all right? And then, of course, the third one about empowering your people. The biggest cost for many organizations, the biggest resource that they're managing is their human resource. So this is very, very important. Your business isn't confined to four walls, so why should the people who impact your business be? Acumatica goes wherever your people go, anywhere, anytime, and on any device. So this deck that I am using here, let me just get rid of my highlighter. This deck that I'm using here, or this positioning and messaging framework, is available for you to use as a guide, and we will provide that to you via the partner portal, and you can download that. But there's actually more to it than what you can see here. So what I'm just going to do quickly, and I think if I control double click, that's going to open it up, and maybe it's not. So let me just quickly toggle across to that document, and let me just open it up. Bear with me for 1 second. And there it is. All right. Now, this is an interesting challenge. I just decide, there we go, erase all drawings. That's what I wanted. So hopefully you can now see that this document is actually made available to you as an Adobe Acrobat document. So that's what I was showing you embedded in the PowerPoint. What we've done is underneath each one of these points, we've provided those summary statements and then support points that really underline what that's about. So, having control of your business. It's about knowing where your business is. It's 5 o'clock. Do you know where your business is? How did sales do today? Are your customers happy? Acumatica helps provide you with the answers. Second point supporting that. You decide where your data lives. Who controls your data? You should. Unlike other vendors who lock you into their data center, with Acumatica, you decide where to host your data. On the public cloud, in a private cloud, or on-premise. So again, these points help you have some talking points. When somebody says, well, what do you mean you play to our strengths? What do you mean you empower our people? Okay, playing to your strengths. Well, Acumatica has the breadth and depth of serious out-of-the-box functionality, which includes all the robust business processes you need from a serious business management solution. That's point number one in play to your strengths. But you can also then build on top of that what you need for your business with an array of complementary solutions and platform tools for development, customization, and integration that make it easy for you to fit Acumatica to your exact needs. Same thing with empowering your people. That's about getting information to the right people. This is really, really critical, and you've told us over and over and over again, and we hear it loud and clear from both you as our partners and our customers, that our licensing model is one of the most powerful things we have in our toolkit. So Acumatica comes with unlimited users. Everyone can access, create, and receive the information they need to drive the business, regardless of whether they're frequent or casual users, internal employees or external vendors, partners, or customers. And it runs anywhere on any device. Acumatica and complementary solutions are automatically ready to run across multiple web and mobile application platforms. Now, you'll see that says including, because there's more than one page to this. We have additional support points on each one of these. So, take control of your business. Again, additional support points on that. Empower your people. Again, additional support points on that around collaboration, performance on demand, and playing to your strengths. Additional support points on that around deploying where you want, protecting your investments, complementing your capability, and so on. And then it's not just about what we say. We then provide you with additional customer and partner quotes that you can use to back up these things, because talk is cheap. Everyone can talk a good talk. You know, yeah, we do this, yeah, we do that. But really, customers aren't interested in what we say about our products and solutions. They're really interested in what other people say about our products and solutions. And we're doing more work around that as well to start getting you independent analysis of the Acumatica solutions, independent analyst reports that you can share with your customers that show them what other people think of Acumatica. So it's not just about us telling our story. So you can see there are a number of pages full of additional customer quotes that you can use. All right? So that's the positioning and messaging framework itself. So then what did we do with that? We then took the positioning and messaging framework and we said, all right, what you need as a partner is you need a starting point on which to build. You need a consistent way of being able to explain that. And funnily enough, we needed that internally as well. So the very first starting point of that was for us to be able to build a deck that explains who Acumatica is. Now, importantly, I believe passionately that you should not start talking about yourself or Acumatica as a company in a presentation to a customer as the first thing that you do. It should be probably the last thing that you do. Why? A lot of people say to me, yeah, but you have to establish your credibility up front. Well, if you're already in front of a customer, if they've already invited you into their boardroom, you've done that. You've got the invitation into the boardroom. Your job is to earn the right to stay there. And you will earn the right to stay there by talking about what you're going to do for them, how you're going to solve their business problems. The fact that you've been in business for 22 years, the fact that you've got certified people, the fact that your customers all love you, that's important. But it's not the first thing that your prospective customer is worried about. The first thing they're worried about is, do you understand my problem and do you have a solution? Once you've been able to establish that in their mind, then they will be interested in saying, okay, what happens if I give these guys the opportunity to come in and deploy this software, solve my problems? What's going to go wrong? How do I mitigate my risk? Have they done it before? Are they going to be in business for a long time? You know, who are they? It's usually the last thing that a customer thinks about. So that's where it should sit inside your deck. Now, having said that, I'm going to go and show you, I'm going to come back to that other slide that I just flashed up there. I'm going to show you our standard deck. Now, our standard deck goes against everything that I just said. Why? Because usually we use this deck to explain who we are, right? This is specifically what people want to know. We have a lot of interest right now because we're growing, because we're in a really key area, Cloud ERP. We get a lot of potential investors coming to us, a lot of people who want to know a bit more about Acumatica as a company. So we've built this deck and we're making it available to you to take the content and utilize as part of your presentations. So, for example, we start off by talking about who Acumatica is at a glance. If I was presenting this deck to a prospect, I would not show this slide first. All right? But it's the order it is in our deck because they want to learn about Acumatica. So that's why it's here. But you can use this slide when you need to explain who Acumatica is. We then talk about the fact that we are growing rapidly. Why should customers care about that? Well, I'll come back and talk about that in a second. We then talk about the fact that many organizations are building their products on top of Acumatica's platform. All right? And this is where we start to leverage what we're doing working with MYOB and Visma in Australia, New Zealand, and the Nordics. So I'm going to come back and we're going to go through this in a structured way, but I'm just giving you a quick overview right now. And then we show that Acumatica is a leader in the ERP space, and it's not just us that believes that, but there are external organizations who their job is to evaluate all these different solutions and where do they map us out. So we give an example of that in Nucleus's ERP value matrix, which was produced in the first half of this year. So again, there's a slide which you can use to talk about that. And don't forget, there's also a white paper document which goes with the ERP value matrix, which you can utilize and leave with your customers to help give you that additional credibility by referring to a third party. And you can see a quote here from Rebecca Wetman, who is the Vice President of Research at Nucleus, and she said, even though Acumatica is a relatively new player in the space, its high usability and solid functionality make it a compelling choice for small and mid-sized businesses looking for a cloud ERP offering. So great external third-party reference statements that you can use. Now, if I was explaining to a prospect Acumatica for the very first time, this is actually, apart from the introduction slide, just saying I'm Richard Duffy and, welcome. This is the first slide that I would be using, which really sets the stage because most organizations these days are familiar with ERP, but they don't quite understand why the cloud matters, why it makes a difference, why they should care about it, and importantly, why they should move their solutions to the cloud. So we use this slide to take them through the fact that this isn't an evolution, and we take them through each of these different stages. Now, if you want to hear how I present this, attend one of my Wednesday morning Introduction to Acumatica webinars. Every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I deliver an Acumatica introductory webinar where I go through for people who don't know anything about Acumatica, be they a partner, a prospective customer, a prospective investor, a prospective independent software vendor, an ISV. They can come along to that presentation and you'll hear me go through this in specific detail. But it's really about helping them understand how ERP has changed and that this is an evolution, okay? And the next stage in that evolution is to move to the cloud. And why cloud ERP is so different is that it covers off on these key components. It's easy to integrate and extensible. It allows you to handle multiple devices and multiple screen sizes. It allows you to utilize public and private clouds. And a true cloud ERP solution should offer flexible deployment and pricing and should give you true utility computing where you only pay for what you use. So that's what people are looking for today in cloud ERP, and that's what Acumatica is all about. We're all about unlocking your business potential. Okay? Then we go back and we now explain what do we mean by that. and we go back to these 3 key areas that are covered in your positioning and messaging framework. How does Acumatica help you do that? Again, we go back to our summary statements. We know that customers who are working with enterprise resource planning software want to focus on 3 key areas. We know that because we have hundreds of customers who've told us. We have thousands of prospective customers who've told us that these are the things that are important. Taking control of their business, having visibility and control, and being able to drive growth, manage costs, and to be productive. We know it's about playing to your strengths because you know what works best for your company. And Acumatica, not only does it deliver a broad set of out-of-the-box best practice functionality, but enables you to tailor the software to fit your exact needs, no matter how specific your requirements. And you may have heard some people at Acumatica talk about this. Acumatica is as simple as you want, but as complex as you need. All right? So it can be very simple out of the box. Or you can take the capabilities we have with the platform and make it handle the most complex business processes. All right? That's what this is about. And then we talk about empowering your people, and this is where we talk about the fact that business is not constrained to 4 walls. Your people, your community of people who need access to your enterprise resource planning, it's not just employees, it's customers, it's partners, it's suppliers, it's, financial institutions, and so on and so forth. Acumatica enables you to empower all those people by going wherever your people go and being available on any platform, on any device. Hopefully that makes sense and you start to see how all of this comes together. Now the next slide, this is really important, and it was kind of funny when we first used this slide. We used it with Gartner. Many of you know Gartner, the Gartner Group, a big analyst firm who produced the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Well, right now we are working hard to try and get on a number of the different Gartner Magic Quadrants. All right, but they have a number of different ones, and the requirements to be on those are very, very specific, and each one has different requirements. But we use this slide, and I use this slide to try and help people understand that there is a better way to choose your software. Traditionally, people will ask about ERP software, and they will say, well, what kind of organization is your software best designed for? Is your software the right fit for my company? And the point that I would make is, traditionally, what do? We talk about number of employees, we talk about turnover, we talk about transaction volumes. We've introduced this new way of explaining it to potential customers that seems to resonate very, very well, and the guys from Gartner really loved it, and they said it was unique. They'd never seen anybody present it like this, but they said it actually makes perfect sense, and they didn't understand why more vendors weren't using this way of explaining it. So if you think about it from a customer's perspective, the best way to choose your business software, first and foremost, is to look internally, look at yourself in the mirror, and look at your business processes. Are they simple business processes? Do you have very, very simple invoicing requirements? Are there things that are related to your industry that have an impact on the way you do things, the way you need to track things that make your business processes moderately complex? Or are you in a highly regulated, highly sophisticated and what's another word for it? I mean, think about pharmaceuticals. Think about anything to do with healthcare. Think about food-related businesses. These guys all have a high degree of government regulation, a high need for track and traceability, a high need for visibility. So, and many of the business processes that they manage are very complex. So you look at where you sit in terms of the business complexity model, and from there you should choose which of the solutions that make sense for you. And what we do is we then give a few examples. Now, this is one of those slides that generated a lot of discussion internally when we were building it. Should we talk about competitors? Should we identify people on a slide? Because what if a customer's never heard of any of these guys, and all of a sudden we give them extra people to go out and chase and look at? Well, here's the thing. They're going to be looking at least one or more of these competitors anyway. So the fact that this helps them far outweighs any downside to this. And let's be honest, you should already have a way of competing with each one of these different competitors. And again, this positioning framework gives you a great way of introducing the whole discussion and having a discussion with the customer. Take me through your business processes. Let's look at them. How are you managing them today? Do you have no solution at all? Are you managing them manually? Because here's one of the challenges. Many of the people that you compete with today will come in and they will do a visionary sale. They will come in and they will paint this glorious picture of what the world would look like if the customer implemented their software and they could automate all these different business processes, many more than what you can do with a standard Acumatica system out of the box. And they paint this picture. What they don't do is they don't tell the customer, well, right now, the people you've got in your warehouse, they can barely manage the processes that you have today. And you're now talking about shop floor control, you're talking about production scheduling, you're talking about, advanced forecasting and planning. Well, who's going to do that inside your organization today? You're going to have to go out and hire new people, and you're going to have to go out and hire more people. Is that really what you wanted to achieve with your ERP solution? So it gives you a really great framework for having that discussion. But anyway, I would encourage you, practice how you explain this. And again, watch the webinar that I have done. It's out on YouTube. It's out on our Acumatica YouTube channel, and it's out on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Acumatica, or my channel is at youtube.com/DuffyRichard. Take a look at at how I present it. Use that as a baseline. I'm not saying the way I do it is perfect, and I got to be honest, every time I present it, there's something that's a little different, something that I try, some little way that I tweak the way I explain it. I don't sit there and read from a script, right? The worst thing you can do when you're presenting is sound like you're reading from a script, because people will know that you're doing it. Okay, I was listening to a presentation yesterday. Within 10 words of the guy starting, I turned to Dorothy, our communications manager, and I said, that guy's reading from a script. It's so clear. Anyway, familiarize this, get used to using it and using it in your presentations. And then it takes us into a discussion about the product. Okay? We talk about the core product suites that we have and the fact that we have a breadth of functionality that's available. We can go into a lot of detail on this slide as well, and we've got extra slides that you can use to supplement this, and I'm going to take you through those over the next few weeks, all right? But potentially, you don't want to give your customer death by PowerPoint. I believe the purpose of a slide deck is to keep you on track, not to give you a script to read from. So this should just remind you, you need to understand what is the financial management functionality in Acumatica and how it works. What is the project accounting, distribution management, and custom management functionality in Acumatica? How it works, what makes it powerful, and how it applies to your customer. But we do have more detailed slides to help you with that. We then also have this slide which enables you to explain for those technology or for those companies who are interested in the technology exactly how Acumatica is built. Why do we have this? Because a lot of our competitors are making a big deal about this, and also importantly, it's a great story to tell when you're talking about Acumatica. Because Acumatica was started in 2007, and Acumatica was started, and we built the cloud platform that incorporated all these different components into a platform. On top of that platform, we then built our application suites, and our complementary solution partners and a number of OEMs also built their solutions on top of our platform. And then on top of that, I'm using the wrong direction arrow, sorry. On top of that, we then also have these connected complementary solutions. Now, again, what do I mean by complementary? Now, note, and sorry for my atrocious Australian accent, sometimes it's hard to say if I'm saying E or I or A, but this is complementary with an E, not complementary with an I. Complementary meaning it adds to. Complementary or complimentary with an I means it's free, right? So this is about the additional functionality that these solutions add. So the Acumatica stack has these connected complementary solutions that not every customer wants, but you can plug in very quickly and easily. And then we talk about where do we have customers, and so a snapshot of some of the customers that people will recognize, some of the brands like KFC, Parallels, Clear Channel, Republic Parking, and some of the other names they may not necessarily know. But we have case studies and comments, quotes from these customers and more available to you in our reference stories and our case studies. We then also talk about the awards and recognition that we've received, not as a chest-beating exercise. The main and the only reason why we talk about this is, again, it enhances this concept of external validation. Not just you as our partner or us at Acumatica that think that Acumatica is a good product. It's also won these other awards which are external validation. Then we come back and we close off with this slide, again reinforcing what we're about is unlocking business potential. And then of course you finish off with this slide. Now, that's the framework for the slide deck. Next week, I'm going to take you through a couple of additional slides, because in next week's session, what I'm going to do is I am going to drill down in more depth and give you an introductory demonstration of Acumatica. A number of you reached out to me after I sent this invitation out and said, I really would like to see a whole end-to-end demonstration of how you position Acumatica. So I'm going to do that next week. That means next week's session may run a little bit longer than the hour that we have scheduled. All right? So just be prepared for that. But of course, don't forget, at any point in time, if you cannot attend one of the week sessions or you can't stay for the whole session, it will be recorded. I want to go back a couple of slides, if I may, and we'll just go to slide 4. And this is the positioning and messaging framework that I mentioned to you. What I've done with this is I've printed this out, basically just page 1 and page 2, and I have laminated them. And so I keep a copy of this, and I've handed out a laminated copy of this to every person inside Acumatica, and they have it by their table. But not only have we done that, I've also created this wallet card. So again, I've just printed this out, and I've got the template for you, and I'll give you the template and the Avery label template number that you can utilize to produce these wallet cards for yourself. So again, I carry around one of these wallet cards with me wherever I go. So I can always remember what my 3 key value points are behind Acumatica, right, about taking control of your business, empowering your people, and playing to your strengths. And then on the back of the card is this additional statement about Acumatica. This is our 100-word, yes, I think, yes, 100-word explanation of what our solution does. So worst case scenario, if you have to do a presentation, you can always carry this with you, review it before you go in, and just remember, what do I want to talk about? Acumatica, unlocking business potential, helping people take control of their business, empower their people, and play to their strengths. Okay? And then that positioning, leading provider, cloud business management for small and mid-sized businesses, world's best cloud and mobile technology, financials, distribution, CRM, customer-centric licensing model, robust, flexible platform, and then our value statement. In an interconnected world, Acumatica enables customers to take full control of their business, to play to their strengths, since every business is unique, and to empower their people by going wherever their people go on any device. So hopefully you've found today to be a good start to our time together as working together in the Acumatica Demo University. So what I'd like to do right now is I'm going to see if there are any additional questions. And there's a question there: if we're signed up for today's session, are we automatically signed up for future weeks? And the short answer to that is no, you are not. You need to sign up for each week that you attend. All right. Main reason being, we need to utilize this to track who's attending these events. Less important now, but we want to get into the habit, because very, very shortly, for those of you who are worried about such things, we're going to make it possible for you to earn CPE credits by attending these sessions as well. In order for there to be CPE credits, you will have to answer a few questions at the end of each session. And again, that's another reason why we're moving to the go-to training platform. So for now, use that email that I sent you, use the link that's in the email, and you will see that it enables you to select which of the sessions you want to attend. And then the other advantage of that as well is it creates the Outlook or the calendaring entry that you can then save and put into your calendar. So another question: will you receive the PowerPoint for the webinar? Absolutely. And you can watch the webinar again as many times as you want. We'll put it up on YouTube, and a link to it will be in the partner portal. And you can, of course, have as many people as you want come along, right? It is partners only, but as many people as you want to have attend from your organization are welcome to join, and you only need to sign effectively the people up who want to get recognition for attending, right? If you just want to come along and watch, you don't want to get CPE credits or anything like that, then you don't need to sign up. All right, just one person signs up, so you've got the link for the session, and then you can then go ahead from there. So, any other questions before we wrap up? None. Okay, so again, we're right on closing time. Thank you for joining us for today's session. I hope you found it valuable. Please drop me an email. My email address is rduffy@acumatica.com. You can also find me on social media and crawling all over the web. So I'd also encourage you to sign up to a number of those social media presences that I have. The best one of all will be Twitter, because every time I do something new, we build something new, we publish something new, you'll see us talking about it on Twitter. And for those of you who are Twitter aware, we do use the hashtag #Acumatica. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, hashtags, Twitters, Facebooks, I don't use that stuff. Well, guess what? During the Demo University, one of the topics we're going to cover is we're also going to talk about social media and how you can use it effectively. So, again, thank you very much for joining. I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to talking with you same time next week. Thank you, and goodbye.